Hello and welcome into episode 14 of SorareData Office Hours. I'm Andrew Laird, head of content here at SorareData. Joined as always by Maxime Hagenbourger, founder and very busy guy today. I actually felt bad sending you the link to join because I was like, I know you're in the middle of like 6 things.
Yeah. I mean, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. I mean,
Thank you to everybody for joining us. If you guys could please hit the like button on the video. ZM Star was first in, said the updates are looking great. There is much more to come. I have seen some literally today. Are those coming this week? I'm sure they're coming this week, what I've seen. Is that correct?
yeah, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, so tomorrow is mobile. Um, and maybe no, today I don't think so, but tomorrow also navigation on the website. And also, I mean, I don't know when it's coming, but like we are going to release something about lineup projections, and for people who are doing lineup projections, and that looks it almost gives me like I'm like, I'm going to do lineup projections just to go to this page now.
It's so funny you say that. So we're talking about the line of projection competition that we have. And we get a lot of questions of where do I stand the leaderboard? And like the page is just not where we want it to be. And we have seen like the new designs and we're like testing. It looks incredible. And I did just that today. Like I checked it and I was like, I got to put some more line of projections in just so I can like move up a little bit. I'm looking at like my old ones and I was like, I see 100% accuracy on one and I'm like, let's go. And I like clicked through and it was like 2 picks. I was right
Yeah.
on 2. And I was like, oh, that's not going to get me up the leaderboard. But for everyone who participates in that, and really everyone should, but the new section of the site that has all of that is really cool. Like really.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's pretty cool. And the navigation, that's not a well, that's a somehow a big change because yeah, it's not going to look the same anymore. But that's pretty cool because I think that that's what like enables also like a lot of things further down the road. So it's just like putting some small foundations for more stuff coming in. And I think like navigation is like people are going to, I don't know, rediscover some pages or like just click on links and see, oh, but this actually exists.
Yeah. So first on the line of projections page or competition, the when not to give too much away of how we work here at SorareData, but it was shared to everybody, like the new page when it was built that we could use it. And I hadn't clicked on it yet. And I saw your message that just said, oh my God. And I was like, surely this means it's good and not bad, but I didn't know. So like I clicked through and I had the exact same response. I was like, what? Like, oh my God, this is great. So that'll come out in a few days. And I actually, they don't know this yet because I haven't asked them, but I think I'm going to ask at least Clement and Erwan to come on on a stream with me to go through it all because it's really cool. And they get a ton of questions about it. And I think just getting them all out at the same time. So if they're watching, then now they know about it, but I haven't told them yet. And there was another thing, but I've already forgotten what it was. Oh, well.
I mean, that's pretty fun. And it feels like I'm saying the same things all over again, but every week. But yeah, we are closing in on like some new hirings, so that's pretty fun. And we're like doing so many reworks and rebranding stuff in the background, so that's going to be fun. But yeah, I'm waiting until we actually announce stuff to actually reveal that. I can't spoil what's going to happen.
That's right. That's right. The other thing I was going to say with the new navigation is I do think it's going to make some of our tools that I don't think enough people utilize more front centered. And so I think we're going to get these like, wow, I didn't know this tool did all of this, or I didn't know this page even existed, because there's just a lot on SorareData.
Yeah.
it, and so we're going to try to make it a little easier for everybody to find everything.
Yeah, and also it's going to be split by sports, and that's probably much better.
Yes, I mean, those who like only play baseball probably don't. I mean, by now they know what SO5 is, but SO5 doesn't exist in baseball,
Yeah.
and so yeah, we're working on that. Don't worry. So yeah, so this question from Johannatan about will the mobile app be adapted to phones in languages such as Hebrew and Arabic? My app is messed up because my phone is in Hebrew and we write right to left, which that's a tricky one.
Yeah, I mean, it has been reported on this like I don't know, 1 month ago or something like that, even earlier. I mean, it's that kind of stuff until like if you don't have like people actually using your app in that setup, you don't even know about it.
Right.
And so first, very sorry about that, but I mean, we talked about it. We said basically that it's going to happen at some point, but probably not like a high priority right now. We're very sorry about that, but yeah, we've got to prioritize though.
It's on the list. We can at least say that. Like we're aware of it and we know at some point we'll get there. But like you said, we're hiring. So and the part of the hiring
Yeah.
is being able to work through the list that we have because like we mentioned, like the list is not short of things that we have planned. And that doesn't even mean that it's not like we're never going to add to the list. We seem to add to the list all the time. And so, yeah, that's why we're trying to get more people on to help us make the list at least a little smaller.
Yeah.
But anyway, I also wanted to add that because a few people were asked this early on, but for the collections game, we now have the owned or not listed for 90 days information. So that should be updated. So I still think the way that we designed is more helpful in terms of being able to actually see cards that you don't own. So I like that point. And so if everybody wants to go use that, go nuts. Have you bought any cards yet for your collection? For collection score?
No. Obviously not. I mean, I'm looking at stuff, but I had a very fun one because I won Moussa Dembele 9 of 100, which is a jersey mint, and it's in my Lyon collection of 2021. It's the only one I own, and someone was trying to send me the card, the 42 out of 100 against the 9, and I got him to send me 0.24 ETH, no 0.024 ETH,
Oh.
and so that's almost like $50 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he canceled the offer. Like I didn't like say yes for like 16 hours or something. So I'm a bit mad about that. But that means that like you probably can upgrade your, like if you have like some jersey mints, yeah, probably some people that are going to be interested in those, and you can trade those pretty easily and get a premium for that.
There's absolutely premium for jersey mints and one-ofs now. Like there was one previously, but not enough people were interested, and now like everyone is interested. And the only thing I don't like about it, which there's no way around this, is like I'm looking for jersey mints or one-ofs of players I don't want to own. And like for my River Plate one, I bought a one-of a backup goalie he might not even play anymore, period. But because he was a one-of, he was actually more important to the collection than the cards I've had for 2 years that I actually collected and kept. And so it's just a weird dynamic that, like, I get it. There's no way around it. But if you do have any of these cards, and I do like that they're rewarding jersey mints. Like, I feel like maybe they always did it and we just didn't notice it enough. I know they did it, but it was fun that you can still win cards that are like a little more valuable than that. I do find that there's a weird market dynamic now that those cards, if they're sold on the secondary market or their auctions, like values kind of jump out. And
Yeah.
There's really no way around it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, and I hope the guy responsible for auctions at Sorare is now making sure that every jersey mints is being auctioned though. Because I mean, if they don't do that, it's like, yeah, you're missing out on like 50% more than the last price probably. Yeah, you've sent an example with McCarthy, a John McCarthy card, rare card, which like was paid like, so the last auction for John McCarthy was in ETH it was 0.307, so that's in dollars that's 584.
Yeah.
And the previous one, only on auction, but previous like secondary market sale was pretty much the same, was 385. And so if you check the guy's collection, he's like getting like 8% on McCarthy with his collection, so probably that's why he paid so much. But I mean, eh, it's just I don't really buy that idea that having like 3% more on a goalkeeper is going to make you win more cards.
Yeah, that one actually came up. Where is
Yeah, you can search for.
oh yeah.
No, but no, on the right.
There we go. Yeah.
So this
So
one. Yeah.
yes. So it was this John McCarthy, and I will say that I feel like we have seen just a lot of people prioritizing first owner, which, I mean, it is what it is. It's like, what is it, 10 extra points? Is that just 10? Oh, 20. So this John McCarthy card, specifically for this Sorare manager, the way that it came up to me, because somebody was asking about the bonus percentage on this card, and they were like, how is it 8% if it's automatic, if it's just an auction? And it's like, well, it's the 5% season bonus, and because of this LAFC collection, it's like immediately 8%. And we kind of started talking internally. It's like, well, what is that worth? And 50% more seemed a little high.
Yeah, no way. I mean, yeah, I
But
mean, there's no way. It's like, I don't know, maybe it's fat fingers, but you have to look at the auction details actually. But it's it just doesn't make sense to me right now. I think that for limiteds, you could probably pay 20% or 25% more, because limited is so competitive right now. But I mean, I don't think, especially on John McCarthy, I don't think it's it's anywhere close a good idea to overpay for John McCarthy to get a bonus.
Jonathan saying Paul Wanner's limited jersey mint went for 4x the regular card price. I don't have a clue who Paul Wanner is, but
Yeah, no, I mean either.
let's find out.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's
Oh, is it a
probably a
rookie card
prospect though.
maybe? Oof. So 138. It is
Yeah, I
a
mean
rookie
that's
card.
yeah, I mean that's collectible like grounds, right? It's
Yeah,
like, yeah, it's the first card. It's probably, I don't know about him, but maybe he is a big upcoming prospect for Bayern München, and you're like, there's going to be only one rookie card jersey mint, right?
sure.
So I mean that does, to me, this does make sense
I agree with
in
that. I
terms of like
actually,
collectibility, not in terms of like SO5 gameplay.
yes. I will also say that Risu, who does watch a bunch of SorareData streams, is a collector of just these types of cards, like jersey mints and one ofs. And so it makes, like, I think most of these cards, if not all of them, are jersey mints or one ofs. And so I get paying that much for that card. I wonder, not even that many Bayern cards in the collection for
Yeah,
this
just
one.
prospects, right?
Yeah. But it's kind of crazy
Yeah,
that
well,
these two cards of two guys who never play are already at 2%.
no, but so it's very interesting what they did, because now they like kind of, you know, artificially huge prospect. I didn't know about that, but
Super talent. Never heard of him, but that doesn't mean
yeah.
anything.
So probably I should buy a card, right? That's what you're suggesting, right? I mean, okay. So let's say that so they artificially raise the prices of like collectible cards, like just like jersey mints and 1 of 100, right? Or edition number 1.
Yep.
So they did that through gameplay, right? And that's maybe a master plan to actually like make a case for collectibles, because now they can probably say to people interested in collectibility, they're like, look, I mean, if you buy a jersey mint, and or if you buy a first card edition, it's going to be worth way more, because look, it's already worth way more, so you can expect that it's going to be worth way more in the future. So that's maybe their plan to actually make like Sorare cards even like collectibles, because
Yeah.
to me, like it isn't today, and it's just fake it until you make it strategy, because I'm pretty sure that Topps cards are or Panini cards are way more collectibles than Sorare today, in terms of like from a market perspective.
Right. Germ pointed out this gallery, A Lone U23, is only jersey mints of U23 players from the 2022-23 season. I have not heard of most of these guys. That doesn't mean anything. I don't know I don't know every player. I know some of them actually, but that's what you find right here. I wonder what the collection bonus probably isn't even that high on any of them, because you need individual teams.
No, and you know, 2.79% reward winning lineups. I mean, when you win stuff, you're like, so when you do that, it's like you don't even play the game. I mean, you can, but it's like a lottery ticket every week, and probably like betting on the future of those players. But you
Right.
have to wait like probably 3 to 4 years, and probably the strategy is to sell those players when they become pretty big and in bigger clubs, right? I mean, that gift Orban 20 out of the 1,000 card is going to be pretty amazing to own if Orban delivers in European leagues, in top
Sure.
European leagues. Same thing for Chris Brady, right? I mean, Brady is like one of the most talented goalkeepers in a generation, right? I mean,
I don't know who
uh,
wouldn't want a Chris Brady card.
no, but I mean, yeah, I mean that's a legitimate bet, and I'm pretty curious to see how it's going to evolve. And I wish everyone doing that luck. Uh, but then, I mean, like that testifies also like the belief of some people regarding Sora. But it's weird that Gift Orb didn't get like a rookie card for. I don't know how they actually like say that's a rookie card or not, because he played this year in, so he only has like game cards, but he played in second division in Norway that season. Maybe he played some games just before that in a
Yeah.
dark uh league. He played, I mean, he played, it has to be a rookie card. I don't know why they didn't give it.
Yeah, I agree. That's a weird one.
As Chris Brady 100, 1 out of 100 owner. I feel personally attacked. I mean, I'm not attacking anyone
No.
except probably Laird here. I mean, I'm just like hurting
Good place
you.
said earlier, I have way too many Chicago Fire #1 mints than any person should. Chris Brady helps to explain that. No, I think that's a great card to have. Why again? Why wouldn't anyone want it?
Mickey Fu saying, every auction I'm looking at participating in at the moment always gets past the floor recent price. I wonder if it's part the bonus and parties I've used with credit cards can be the market going up. And I mean, I thought about this earlier this week, and I was like, they I don't want to drop f bombs on the stream, but they did that to the secondary market because they are now in a very strong position when they decide to sell a card, and we still have to demonstrate that the market is accepting that and is ready to kind of like follow the trend, and apparently it's not doing that right now. My theory was if Sorare is selling cards at a better price, then the secondary market will actually follow that price. But the secondary market can also say, nope, I'm not following the trend. I'm just like accepting the fact that people are paying a premium on auctions, and I'm not paying that much on for a card that I won't get the only owner bonus.
Yeah, I think it completely changed the secondary market for like a number of ways, and I think one of them that we kind of overlooked is that we used to look at auctions as kind of the latest example of what a card is worth, and now
Yeah.
if you have one of these cards, you look at the auction and I think the thought is now my card is not worth any more than that auction. And I feel like nobody's paying, like, not to continue on the Chris Brady thing, but I listed my Chris Brady card and then an auction went for more than what my listing was. And then someone undercut me and neither sold. And it's like, they're just waiting for the next auction to come so that they can buy it that way. And it's almost like we have two different prices now. We have like auction prices and secondary market prices, and they used to just work together.
Yeah, and that makes it very interesting in terms of like how do you evaluate the price of a card, right? And I mean, they kind of shot themselves on in the foot with that because they use that to actually distribute rewards. And how do you make sure that because like John McCarthy's card is going to be evaluated as more valuable because it sold for 587 instead of 300 at the last auction. And how do you make sure that you're not overestimating a card that someone paid for because they had like a direct personal interest that no one had? And I have to check that auction because I feel like someone was, I don't know, betting against this guy while bidding against, and the guy is Flow State.
Flow State, yeah.
And he has like a solid 2023 Los Angeles collection also.
So Flow State is some new whale, and is the so I had my I had my Brady on the market for 0.5 to, no, I'm sorry, 0.54 maybe, and he bid the auction to 0.55, and then someone else undercut me, and then somebody undercut them, and none of those get sold. And then Flow State bought the next Brady auction as well, even though there were other markets on the, other cards on the market. So like Flow State very much prioritizes auctions. I don't know why, but they do. But they're also throwing around a ton of money.
But that's weird because Flow State had already won. They bought the previous auction, right? 358 euros. So that's how much? $385, right? And so they are kind of protecting the price of John McCarthy's card, which is completely dumb. To me, it's so risky, right? Because final bid was 307 ETH, so 0.307 ETH, and Flow State bid 291 before that, so that's pretty much already 50% more than the previous price. And so if you end up with that card paid 50% more than the previous that you already own, I
Right.
mean, that's very dangerous. I mean, I don't mind like um, on the unique market protecting the price of a card because you own the previous one, and probably you have deep pockets at that point, and so it's okay. But like here, protecting the price of a John McCarthy rare card that is probably going to be zero in like 2 months because McCarthy is going to lose his spot. I mean, well, that's ballsy, let's say.
Nice to have money. Chani's saying that none of this is true because he just sold Juan Brunetta for more than auction. And I'm sorry to like be that guy, Chani. But well, I guess 12 days ago there was an auction at whatever 0.13 is, $235. Chani sold at 272, but then the next auction went 275. Same guy. Hafty's all in on Juan Brunetta, but I think that's a little bit of a a little bit of an outlier given that it's like 2 weeks in between
Yeah,
auctions.
and
But
and also I think that the main issue is that they are not auctioning that many cards right now. Like, I mean, they are slowed down the rhythm of auctions, and so you probably have an incentive to actually buy auctions right now because you don't know when the next one is going to happen, right? And so as long as they have like a slow rhythm of auctions, like kind of you don't know when the next one is going to happen, you'll probably have some kind of FOMO going in. And until we see like a real auction rhythm, it's going to be very interesting to watch the market dynamics between the secondary market and the primary market.
so I'm going to give away something I probably shouldn't give away, but I'm going to anyway. So I was trying to get, and now I'm not going to ever get this card because nobody's going to sell it to me. But I was trying to get a Melly Muhlenstein super rare, and I was going back and forth with someone, and I had a counter offer back for 0.425 ETH. Like I could buy it for that. I was like, all right, and there were no auctions, and I was like hesitating on it, and then Flow State started bidding one up on auction and went all the way to 0.54, which then made everyone list their Melly Muhlensteins because they're like, wait a minute, if he's worth that, then let me go sell. And obviously none of these are remotely close to what he paid. They paid. This Eichson got a steal 2 days ago because this auction was like active like 2 days ago, and these bids were like 2 days ago. So these like flew past that sale because they really wanted these 7 of 10 Melly Muhlenstein. But now everyone is like, okay, maybe 0.54 is the price. And obviously where these current ones are 0.745 and 0.749, like that's much higher. But like, I don't know if either anyone is willing to even pay 0.54 or if any seller would take that, even though that's what the last sale was. So like the auction is just, like I said, the auction is a different market now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but what I would say in that context is you probably shouldn't buy that guy.
Now? Or
I mean,
like now
yeah,
that auction's happened, or Flow State
he's on
shouldn't?
like 62 L15, and I'm like, and
No,
with the
he's very good
same,
now.
yeah, but
He's a Sean Newsham favorite though.
no, but I mean, like buying cards with an L15 of 62 is probably not a good idea.
What if you think the L40 will be 62 at some point?
Yeah, it's probably not a good idea to buy it either. I mean, no, it's all about like, it's all about timing on Sorare, and I feel like it's actually the right time to sell Muhlenstein and
Probably.
not buy him.
I don't think you're wrong.
And I was looking at Griezmann, and Griezmann is a very, very fun card. I mean, Griezmann is
He's
very
been
good,
amazing.
and like 75 L15, 70 L40 international utility. I mean, he's going every time he's going to All-Star Rare Pro on my lineups. Um, or All-Star Rare, it depends.
Yeah, he's been
But
incredible.
it's like, I mean, it's probably time to sell, right?
Jonathan makes point. It's like buying Marvin Vonizek. You don't want to buy
Yeah,
him now.
Vanacek is it's and I did exactly the same mistake by buying Kvaratskhelia also. So I waited until the price dropped, but it dropped again and again. And Kvaratskhelia, it's like now it dropped 50%. And I mean, yeah, you probably should never buy if someone you're trying to buy is above 60 L 1560 is probably not the right time to buy. And the likeliness that it's going to go higher than that is so small,
I
low.
I made a comment to somebody the other day that it felt like for a while everyone, like there was a time on Sorare where if a player had a good L5, their price was going to go up. It was like as simple as that. And then I feel like everyone got a little smarter, and now I think it just turned around again. And everyone sees, maybe they see the dark green L15 and they're like, I'm going to buy that guy. And it's like, just remember,
Yeah.
you don't get those scores that he's already scored.
No, but also because the prices have gone down so much, and so you're like, whoa, he's worth that much on a L15 score. That's crazy. I mean, it's so cheap, but actually, you have to understand that these prices are the new normal right now,
Right.
and I mean, I don't think it's ever the right time. Win a SO5, a winner SO5 reward that is good. It's actually the right way to actually acquire a good card. But like that Kvaratskhelia buy was so bad for me.
We all have them.
Um, I mean, um, I bought the how much? I
Was it
bought
like 3.5 ETH,
uh
wasn't it?
I bought Kvaratskhelia rare for 1.4 ETH plus at that time a card were worth like zero point 0.1, and the Kvaratskhelia super rare I bought it for 3.6, and I was like, oh, I'm stealing this guy. And actually I was stealing who's that already? Zima Blue, right? And I'm getting robbed. Last auction was like 2 ETH. And I probably should have gone on that auction and protect that price. I mean, that's probably when you're playing super rares and stuff like that. That's probably the right way to play super rares and uniques. Is that you have to be aware of every auction that is affecting your cards and try to protect that price. I
Indeed.
don't have enough ETH to actually do that, but
Yeah,
if
I
I
was
if
just
I
about to say
were
that's
to
the problem.
play, yeah, if I were to play super rares, like seriously, yeah, you probably have to do that, like, yeah, pretty
Yeah.
seriously.
Sopsy made a comment before. It said there are two different auctions: the one of hundreds and shirt numbers. That's one, and then the rest of the cards, which I think is correct. But I think it's also that those are different from the secondary market too.
Yeah. I mean, that's a correct statement, but like now an auction and even like a secondary market sale is like, well, not that much because you have those 20 points that you won't get in terms of collection score if you
Right.
buy a card from someone else. But it's like you have to understand the like the context behind the sale, right? Like if that person is buying a card to actually get to 5% on a lot of cards, I mean, it's valuable.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about this when we were doing like auction watches that you don't need 20 people to want the same card for the price to go up. You only need two, and they go back and
Yeah.
forth. And if the number of people who are trying to collect the same, club year and scarcity, and an auction comes up that's going to help both of them are going to start overpaying for it because it's really valuable to them. But that doesn't mean that that card is as valuable to everyone else in the market. And so that's why like price transparency is just so important at this point, because you need to at least look and be like, why did this card sell for so much more? And we see that with these outlier purchases, or like number of outlier purchases and the floor is lower, and it's like, well, because the 3 people who needed these 3 cards got them. They overpaid for them, but that doesn't mean everybody else wants them. And so, yeah, keep using SorareData to find your price
again,
transparency.
yeah, no, but again, the problem I have with that is SO5 rewards, and that's going to be a big problem.
Because
I don't think they will handle it well.
What do you mean?
I think some players will be will end up in higher tiers than they should because of the last
Yeah,
update.
yeah, yeah. That's my biggest fear of all of this.
And that's why I don't think like ranking players based on their valuation is the right way to go.
Certainly
I
with
think,
super rares, it can be really detrimental.
yeah, and we've seen multiple examples of that. I mean, Cezenia was distributed as a tier 2 super rare. Like, I mean, who did that? I mean, well, it should like ring an alarm in the offices and say, "Oh my God, Xenia is a tier 2 card," and like, what are we doing? Xenia is at least a T1, and you could say it's a T0. I mean, Xenia has a status on Sorare that is like close to Vanaken and close to God, basically. So, I mean,
Yeah.
What are you even doing?
Someone got lucky. That's all.
Yeah, I know who's
Daniel,
that.
as well.
Who that guy is. He's called R1 and he is working at SorareData, and I was like, you got this guy for T2 super rare, and it was like, yeah, I mean, I'm lucky.
That's who it was? Everyone won it?
Yeah, R1 won it.
Let's see here. We can look this up. We're gonna find out he's actually been like a tier 2 for a long time.
No, well, probably 2 game weeks. I mean, come on. Go down again. No, it's rare pools. I think it's like, again, go down. Yeah, see, it's 361. He got him as a tier 2 all-star.
Jeez. That's fun.
I don't know. I don't know if fun is the right term, but
a tier 0 in Asia and a tier 2 in all-star. I don't know.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy to me.
Well, that's fun.
So
that's fun. Good player.
It's actually, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
They'll fix it, I'm sure. We'll get there.
Yeah, but it has to come also from the player's perspective, right? And I think like it's easy to say that, but what I mean is you've got to make sure that your players, like, well, people that are playing the game actually are pretty much happy when they open rewards, right? And right now at least Sorare thinks that the only way to get people happy is to rank cards based on valuation, right? And I don't think that's the case. I think that a good reward is based on your context, and that's exactly why people are paying crazy prices for collection cards, right? And I mean, we have to finally, like, I think that they need to make sure that our rewards page becomes obsolete. And why I'm saying that is that you shouldn't care about the reward that the player behind you and the player above you actually got. I mean, you should only focus on the card that you got, because Sorare allowed you to pick probably the best card possible, or at least asked you to pick what kind of rewards or what kind of cards you want. And yeah, I mean, that's a big change to actually make.
Do you think that they should, not like manually is not the right one, but do you think people who, like, if you have a really good 2022-23 collection, do you think your reward should be from that collection?
Well, I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. But I mean, it has to be like it has to be some kind of FIFA. Well, I don't want to say do everything as FIFA does, but you have to like be more imaginative in terms of like how you actually distribute rewards and the choices that you actually give to the player and say, hey, uh do you get that tier 5 card, or do you get like 1,000 coins? Do you get that tier 4 card, or do you get like, I don't know, points to actually like or like a ticket to actually participate to a competition? I really like that idea to actually um like have tournaments that are entered only if you got a ticket to it. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's what poker tables, poker tournaments do.
Yeah.
And it's like I want to be able to compete with people that are very good, and if I do that, that means that I'm going to get very good rewards also. And yeah, I think there's so many things that they could do to actually like make the rewards experience a bit better. And again, like, why you want to do that is because you're printing too many cards every game week right now, and that's a big problem.
When do you know how many times, and maybe it's a lot, and that would be great. How many times have you opened a reward and been like really excited about that specific reward?
Well, so I have to say the one game week where everything was messed up, I was very excited about that game week. No, so I mean, recently I got Chelsea cards as T2 cards. So I got Facundo Torres last game week. I was pretty excited about this one. Mudrik, I got it as a tier 2 All Star. So I was pretty excited. I got N'Golo Kante, obviously wishing he stays in the Premier League or at least in a covered tournament, in covered league.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Also as a T2. Uh, and I think like I enjoy T2 rewards more than T1 and T0s
Me too.
because I have less chances to get a goalkeeper from T2.
Oh, I actually think it's because I don't get myself, like, my expectations aren't that high. And so there are still very good players in tier 2. And so I'm like, oh, this guy is good. And it's a tier 2. When I get to 1 and 0, which doesn't happen often, I start getting very high. And it's not like I'm going to win Mbappe, but I get high expectations and then I win Chris Brady.
Yeah, I mean, well, at least for podium places, you should have like some kind of choice. Like at least choosing between a goalkeeper, a defender, or a midfielder or a forward. At least like it, probably not like letting you choose which player, but at least the position, right?
Yeah, that's what Mike Baston said in chat here. Do you think it would be okay to select a position for a reward card, but only have a set number of goalkeeper requests available in a set period of time? Say you need a forward, you can request a forward. I don't know how many people would actually choose a goalie.
And
Like, I know we all
and
need them, but like nobody wants to win goalies.
yeah, and I think that the most efficient solution would be like having like a draft list, right? Being able to rank the players inside a tier and saying that would require some time, but I think that you could at least make sure that people that are really involved in your game could actually like make sure they get the best option available for them.
I would love a do not reward list where I could go into the tiers and just click off the card I don't want. And if I land on that spot and they were just like, all right, you get the next one, then I want that.
Yeah, and probably exchange the card for an XP boost or I don't know, a boost on a particular card or coins. I mean, I think that that would make total sense because I would probably now I enjoy collecting cards, and I kind of like have this crazy goal to actually like collect as many cards as I can. Um, but I mean, probably like I would still be interested in like trading like that guy Philip Zinkernagel from Standard Liège, and probably get like 1,000 Sorare coins instead of that card.
Mike Basson says many people want keepers because, as Quinny says, they're tickets to other leagues, which is one thing that I always thought. Like, keepers are still a huge expense for a majority of the players. Nobody wants goalies. Nobody wants to win goalies. Like, they appreciate when they get it because they're like, oh, I don't have to buy one now. But there's no one is ever excited to win a goalie other than the relief that you don't have to buy one.
Yeah, and probably because uh, people think that goalies are tickets and not winning tickets. They get you in, but they probably won't make you win something. I mean, and that's because there's not enough difference between goalkeepers right now, and because the scoring matrix is very like um, standard for goalkeepers, and you can't really like have very high scores. um it's better than last year, but it's to me it's still a bit weird. And also like you could make like 10 saves, concede 3 goals because your defense suck, and still end up at like, I don't know, 40 or 35, which doesn't make sense to me. And so yeah, I mean, that's why I think, well, that's why I don't like winning a goalkeeper, because I feel like it's just like, oh, all right, you probably can set another lineup, but you have a finite number of lineups that you can set every month, every game week anyway. And if you reach that number, it's just like maybe you will get a better matchup because you get that goalkeeper, but it's not the card that is going to make you win that game week or win a reward, right?
Right. Right. Usually.
And
I don't think
I
I've
mean,
kept any goalie I've won except for Brady, who I'm trying to get rid of.
to me, the easiest solution for that is either you make sure that you have competitions where you can win goalies, and because right now only the top places get goalies, right? Tier 0, tier 1, tier 2, that's it. Maybe very top of tier 3, but you get like bad goalkeepers, right?
Sure.
And so if you make sure that you have competitions where you can win goalies, and especially goalies of the higher scarcity, because cap to 20 doesn't do well for that, because only like if you play, or cap to 70 doesn't do well for that because they're rewarding like tier 1 and tier 2s for only like five people, right?
Yeah.
But to me, the easiest solution is allow lower scarcity goalkeepers in divisions, in like allow limited goalkeepers in rare, get them, give them like a 50% penalty, but allow people to actually play in those divisions. You will definitely improve the progression in the game.
I literally had this thought last night as I was trying to make lineups for this game week because I wanted to use a rare goalie in All-Star Super Rare. Back when we used to be able to do that. I can't do it today though. That also reminded me the competitions for goalkeepers. One of the first game weeks that I ever really played on Sorare was one where you could win goal. Like, it was a special weekly and all the prizes were goalies. And I was like, I don't even think I had a rare goalie at the time. And I was like, oh, I'll enter this because you could use a common. I was like, I'm going to win a goalie. And I didn't even come close. And it was very early on when I learned that even if you have enough goalies, people with enough cards will enter those competitions. And like,
Yeah.
so I looked at it as like, oh, everyone without goalies is going to enter it. And it was not. And I saw Black and Jimmer and all these other people with their brand new goalies. And I'm like, wait, you guys have goalies. And they're like, and I have one more now. And
Yeah, because goalies are expensive. So
yeah,
I mean, that's why. Uh, yeah, I mean, it's not sustainable that goalies are that expensive, and it doesn't make sense that they are the first cards to be rewarded. I mean, well, I mean, it kind of does make sense, but I mean, to me, like to the vision I have of a fantasy football game, it's not the cards that make people like. Did you ever go to a football game and say, "I'm going to see that goalkeeper"? Maybe Courtois or Maignan are the two goalkeepers I would go to a game and say, "I'm going to see that goalkeeper." But you have probably like 10 more players that you could say, "I'm going to this game because I'm going to see Vinicius, I'm going to see Benzema," and stuff like that.
The first professional soccer match I ever saw, I was 20, maybe. Like, I didn't grow up like following professional football. It was not something big here. I went to a preseason summer tour match between Manchester United and AC Milan at the old Giant Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, because Tim Howard played for Manchester United. So I did go to a game just to see a goalie. I don't even remember what happened in the game. And I wore a Metro Stars jersey during
But
it.
because it was an American goalkeeper, right?
Yeah. Yep.
That's the only reason why.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But like,
Oh yeah,
no
and Germ. And I went to Dallas to see Jimmy Maurer play. Thank you again, Germ. But Jimmy didn't play that game, and we only got 50 minutes anyway.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's like it. To me, that's not how it should work. But there's a very long way until they actually change that. Could they not get closer to maxing out the mints per season or starting goalkeepers to bring their prices down in line with similar quality outfield players? That could be an idea, but I mean, what happens when you're maxing out everybody? Oh, no, but you could. But that would be an idea. You could increase the supply of goalkeepers and say there's going to be 200 cards of this guy because he's a goalkeeper.
That's when we all leave.
Yeah, but no, but I mean, right? Probably it's not a good idea, but that's why it's so complicated to do a collectible game and a fantasy game at the same time. It's like, what do you choose? Because in terms of like fantasy game, you probably should have more goalkeeper cards that you have today. But in terms of collectibility, it doesn't make sense.
You mentioned the solution though before of just allowing a lower scarcity card.
Yes.
Like that's the solution. We don't have to print more goalkeeper. Nobody wants to collect more goalkeeper cards. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, but they did that before and they stopped doing that. So I don't see why they would allow that again.
Yeah.
That it has to be the worst decision they made in 2023. Yeah, I think it's 2023 that decision.
I can't remember if it was before the Global Cup or not.
Maybe 2022. Yeah, 2022. It was before the Global Cup.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it started in January 2023. I think it's like it has to be one of the worst gameplay decisions they make. At least in my opinion. I mean, like they made pretty good decisions. I think like the caps were an horrible decision, but I think like removing like the ability to play a goalkeeper in the higher division, it's like of a lower scarcity in a higher scarcity division. It's like it's not good.
Yeah, it's exactly what Rob says here. Goalkeepers still keep a lot of players priced out of like moving up. Like you can, if you're lucky enough to get a bunch of rares if you play limiteds or super rares if you play rares, like the last step is always getting that goalkeeper, and it's just such a huge cost.
And I mean, you should be at least able to like, if you win cards from cap to 70, for example, you should be able to start playing them. And so you have kickoff for that, but it's only one card, which is pretty weird. And the kickoff rules are pretty weird, to be honest. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, But especially for all-star, for super rare divisions and unique divisions, I mean, doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Charlie brings up, he said that's what 220 is for. No, and the problem is that 220, if you have good cards, you can't play 220. Like it's
Yes, exactly. And yeah,
like you want to have good cards. Like your goal should be to accumulate good
yes.
cards.
And the problem is, the
doesn't do
problem with 220 is that how many people get like a tier 1 or tier 0? Let me check.
0. You don't even have to look. It's 0.
Even limited? Oh no, they changed it. So first place gets a star, second place gets a tier 1, third place through 17th gets a tier 2.
In limited?
Cap 220 limited, yeah.
Wow. I didn't know they were giving away stars.
And for Cap 220 rare, it's
star.
well, no way you're getting a rare goalkeeper. It's like only podium is getting tier 1 or tier 2.
Yeah.
That's the problem, right? I mean, a limited goalkeeper is not too pricey today. It's a bit pricey, but now it's like way less than before. But like a rare goalkeeper, it's quite an investment if you want to play with a limited amount of money on Sorare.
Yeah. Super rare is a tier 3 for the top spot.
Yeah. I mean, I'm playing Cap 220 super rare, and it's like, you never know. If the rewards are bugged again, maybe I'll get a good card this time again. I mean, like, you never know.
Never know. I do feel like they have obviously recognized that the mixed scarcity still is required at some point, because like even unique Cap 240 allows you to use a super rare, and the unique division allows you to use 2 super rares. So the idea that like the lower you go, they take that ability away seems odd to me. Skazma says you can get a starting rare goalkeeper for less than 0.1, which doesn't seem unreasonable. I don't think they're starting anytime soon if that's their price. Like if you want to wait 3 months, then I think sure. But
are there any 0.1 goalkeepers on the market right now? Let me check. Because that seems low. Like very low. And probably not solid goalkeepers, right?
Right.
Oh, De Gea is only 0.2. Wow. Filterable blading statues. Let's do it the very easy way. 0.06 Gutner from Amiens, so he's probably going to retire at some point. But yeah, 0.06. I mean, that's true.
I don't think you're going to find anybody that you can use in the short term.
Well, Rafael Salinger is 0.126. He's been a solid starter. Oh, that's auctions. Oh, sorry, that's auctions. I'm saying basically fake news. It's fake news.
No, I have. Let me see. Somebody saying Mandanda is 0.126.
Yeah, but Mandanda is probably going to retire. It's like, I mean, if you don't want to lose your money, right? Like instantly, because
a few, but I think again, it's like they're not playing now. That's why they're cheap. So if you want to buy it now, that's fine, but you're not using that card for 2 months. But this is when we get
Evan Villar is playing. Evan Villar is playing, but yeah, he's not playing anymore. Yeah, I get what you mean, but yeah, his price has definitely decreased in the past.
I thought Mandanda had one more season. Speaking of Mandanda,
he's probably going to play one more season, but like, I mean, you're buying him today. Like, good luck selling him next year.
Yeah,
I mean, he's 38.
Spring chicken, as we say here. Nice and young, 38.
So are you playing this summer? Well, you're probably playing this summer, because I have seen Chani saying he's not playing. I'm like, what are you doing?
I did see that. I am, and I thought I was going to be playing it really well, and then I looked at my MLS cards, and 8 Argentina cards, and I was like, oh, these aren't as good as I thought they were back in January when I was like, oh yeah, I can't wait for these cards to start having utility again. Do you have enough to play?
Yeah. I have like 4 goalies that who play 5. My U23 Asia goalkeeper was benched recently, so that's a bummer.
I have
My
a
prop,
U23 goalie for the summer if you're interested.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, why not? No, my biggest problem is our forwards. I'm like, I have Insigne, I have Jordan Morris that is injured currently. Diego Rubio also injured, and I have Brenner from Cincinnati, but he's moving to Udinese, so not playing. I have actually more super rare forwards than rare forwards. I'm not kidding you. It's like pretty funny. But other than that, I'm pretty good. But if you have like good um forwards, I'm taking advice. I'm like, if you have like some good forwards that can last the summer, I'm all ears.
It's Hulk, man. Everybody should have Hulk.
Oh yeah, he's like 45 right now. No,
But he's a superhero. He's going to play forever.
36.
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, how old is
Hulk
Cecilia? Cecilia's got to be like 34, right?
Hulk
33.
is
He'll be
under
34 in
contract
November.
one more year, so until December 2024. So that's pretty reassuring, right?
Yeah.
But he's only doing like he's only scoring, right? Oh well, he had
No, he's taking set
23.
pieces
Well,
now.
some
Hulk.
AA. That's pretty good. Yeah.
Oh, Hulk is the best. Scosmo says he has a Daniel Shallowy with your name on it, though.
Well, I don't know who that guy is, but oh, Sporting Kansas City.
Born in Kansas City, yeah.
I
You were
mean, I'm
close to
afraid.
Kansas at one point.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Daniel
He's pretty
Cooper says,
good.
I need U23 cap 240 for Chris Brady to be useful, which is a great line.
Oh, you can play 220 super rare with Brady.
I can. And Zarchi has a Chris Brady super rare that he got for the Golden Cap 270 for second place. We can do a package deal because I have the rare and he has the super rare if you want to do just get in with a rainbow right away.
Wow. Wow, but one Brendan By also. Wow. That's pretty good. If you're American and you win Brendan By, you feel pretty good. I would have felt terrible, but I mean, if you're American and you enjoy MLS, you're like, well, that's pretty good.
uh, Zarchi
No,
said,
but
Hulk says 3 to 5 more years at Minyara.
well, I'm buying Hulk then. But I'm like, really, it's like the Miami against New England game was so bad. I mean, it's like Bouanga said, like the MLS is between Ligue 1 and Ligue 2, so the first French league and in the second French league. I'm not even sure that's true. I mean, like,
League
I've,
1.5. I don't know how to
well,
say
it's
that.
like it's and again, that's my objective for 2023. That they changed the total like the division hierarchy, but it doesn't make sense that like Brendan By is actually a good card. I mean, I mean, Carlos Gil. I'm sorry, Sean, but Carlos Gil is not. He's not a good player. He's an average football player, and he's only good because the league he's playing in is bad.
He was the Golden 270 unique top prize.
Yeah,
The Carlos Hill unique.
but that doesn't make sense. If it's a golden division,
We're
it
playing a
has to be
game.
like
It's all
get
we're just playing a
get
game.
get like a Vinicius card or something like that, not a Carlos Heel. No, but that was just like they were like, oh, let's do a golden division, and we'll say we're going to give them like the best cards available, like as uniques, and they were like, oh, but we'd only pick MLS cards from that
Well,
pool, and
right.
just say we gave like golden cards, right?
They celebrated the end of the European season by rewarding MLS cards. Use all of your European
they're
cards
not
to win
losing.
MLS. That's how this game
They're,
is played, right?
I mean, they're not losing money by doing that. Like, I mean, Brendan buys probably a 0.6 or 0.7 card, and they're saying like, "Oh, we did well. We did you guys a favor because." But they basically got rid of like MLS unique cards. That's pretty clever, though. I mean, that has to be clever.
It's just for the utility. Nobody wants European uniques now.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
wow, whoa, what? So wait, Carlos Hill 2022 went for 25.96 ETH.
Yeah, that was
Back in May
last year.
2022.
Yeah, May 2022.
Wow,
That's a long time ago. It was another
69,000 euros. What were we thinking? I mean, that doesn't make sense, right?
That card helped Roxy win an Antoine Griezmann super rare, though.
Yeah, but that's pretty good card in terms of like SO5 returns. He won cards that are worth now 11 ETH, but that's you have to have 5 cards in a lineup, you know.
I'm sure that lineup was probably pretty good. Game week 270 All-Star Unique. This is how you can go down a SorareData rabbit hole. There should be a whole stream about that. What did I say? 270 was the game week?
270. That's a long time ago.
All-Star Unique.
Yeah, we didn't have like logos at that time, so
yeah. Oh, he was second too. Not even.
he was
first.
seconding one. Well,
I
mean that's
look at this.
Nice
so this lineup. This lineup: Mike Mignon, Daily Blind, Chouameni, Carlos Hill, and Tadic.
Yeah.
And Carlos Hill was the captain. See? I'm starting to feel like Sean pumping up Carlos Hill. Good lineup though, Roxy. Well done.
Yeah, why not?
Anyway.
He has so many cars. This guy has so many cars. I mean, I don't know if it's the guy or someone else, but
I would guess they're second to Pavel at this point.
It's like more than 10,000 cards, and like the roster valuation is 4.2 million euros.
I do love seeing 4.2 million euros and almost 6,500 limited cards. Like, why are you buying limited cards?
Wait, but they stopped buying cards?
Oh, yeah? Just win now?
Yeah, they stopped. Like, the last card they bought was 2 months ago. And they basically are printing money right now.
Yeah.
The number of rewards they're getting is like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, everybody. Let's pull this up for everybody so you can feel really good about yourself. That this is literally just all rewards. Still going. What was the last card that they bought?
So they bought Mbappe unique also like 2 months ago.
Pedri. Is that a jersey man? Nope, just a Pedri.
But they bought Mbappe for 109 ETH just a bit earlier.
That's a lot. Swept the Florian Wirtz floor.
Yeah, it's Roxy was sweeping floors at what point, like Kimmich floors also, and they probably figured out that it wasn't a good idea. That the market was still dropping after that, so you probably shouldn't do that. Yeah, I've seen them like buying like 3 to 4 Kimmiches. That was crazy. I was like,
yeah,
they are single-handedly trying to keep the market alive, but you shouldn't do that. And they did that with so many players.
Yeah.
And even Mullenstein, they did that with.
I mean, that's how you get to $4.6 million.
They did that with Vinicius also. I mean,
yeah, it's a lot of money.
Oh, hey, by the way, we're at the end of the June, well, in the month of June, and so what we did with the French community back in January was sending a form with basically questions like, let me get those questions, like, what do you think is going to be the price of a Joshua Kimmich card uh,
Yeah.
on June 30? And what was the last auction price? I think that was the question. Oh, yeah. One question was, what is going to be the price of the last Kylian Mbappe limited card on June 30th, 2023? And Air One guess was 1,200 euros, because at that point in time, the last auction, January 5th, 2023, was 1,270 euros. And so the answers are so funny. Like, at that particular question, I think like the lowest answer was, I think it was like 750 or something.
Mm.
And so many people at like was saying like, well,
Wait.
probably a bit higher,
Yeah.
like 14,000, 1,400, 1,300. And there's like, I think one person like that said, no, 750. And they're not even
And everybody
close.
hated him.
No. And they're not like even close. Last auction for Mbappe is
I have $423.
395.
Yeah,
395.
€395.
I mean, that's
Kimmich auction was €2,600. No, dollars. Sorry, €2,400.
We had that question also for Doncic Limited. That's pretty fun. Doncic Limited has to be pretty fun.
It probably hasn't been in an auction in forever, though.
Yeah, last auction was, they are going to win because last auction was an action pose that was February 24.
Why?
And that was 322 euros.
Wait, why would
And they did an auction. No, but the NBA. No, I mean, you have to take a look at one point at what's going on with the NBA and the MLB games. That it's crazy, man. I mean, there are so many things to look at, like price pools, auction rhythm. I mean, that's pretty amazing to see what's going on over there.
Why would you do that? Hold on, I'm going to pull this up for everyone.
I mean,
so this is
yeah.
the last Doncic right there, 341.
And the prices dropped after that. I think like people realize that there's probably not going to be Doncic utility for the postseason, right?
Yeah,
And so, I mean,
that's
the party stopped there.
That's one of the worst action poses I've ever seen, too.
Yeah, I mean, he looks constipated. I mean, that's the nicest thing I can say about this post. Or at least very angry to the person that is shooting the photo, right?
Right.
But so yeah, I mean, so the most the person with like the best answers will get a Nuno Mendes card, which was pretty attractive at that point in time.
Yeah.
A Nuno Mendes rare card that was like 0.6 or 0.7 it's now 0.17, but that's that's a pretty good card still to own. But I'm looking at those answers and like people are going to be way. Well, we were so delusional at that time.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
No, probably the best answer will be
it's going to be that 700 one.
No. But for the Shohei Ohtani, we asked the same thing for the Shohei Ohtani last limited auction. And I think Ohtani is pretty strong right now. Yeah, 196 and 197 last auction price. And January 5th was 187. So people are going to be pretty, like the crowd will be pretty close on that one. But on like football and NBA, we are going to be very far from. And also, we asked how many people with at least one NFT, one Sorare NFT card, and that's pretty interesting also.
I don't even know what we're up to.
So we are like 245 right now, I think. At that point,
yeah. This was January what?
January 1st.
Yeah, we were at 208.
And now we are 245.
245, yeah.
245. Yeah, people are way. So the consensus was around like 280 to 300.
It's a good thing we'll be at 1 million by August when the Premier League comes back.
No, we'll be 1 million because there are going to be commercials with Mbappe. I mean, that's going to happen at some point, and that's going to be you're not going to even look at the chart at that time. You will be like, what was that time? What was that time? You will see like
we got our OG banners now.
Small variations, right? And you will have like the Mbappe commercial rise. That's going to be fun.
Let's hope. Let's hope. Thank you to everybody for joining us. If you have not hit the like button after that very positive stream that ended up going right down in the tank at the end, thanks to these predictions from January, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. I'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow for the strategy show because we flipped it with limited time only. Thursday, Sorare Andrews, Friday off topic. So thank you to everyone, and good luck this week.